All right, you're all set?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
All right. Well, tonight's interview is going to be with state final official Mike Clarke. Mike, our first question to you is what have you done in your career to prepare yourself to make it to the state finals?
A lot of conversations with state level officials. I've been very lucky in that I referee in a solid officiating region of Illinois. I feel with Tony yourself, with Bill Honeycutt, Mike Herkus, Roy Snyder, John Giannos is a guy that I remember from years back. Ray Weinsberg. So interacting with those guys and getting feedback from them, I think, has been so important. I think another big asset in my career as an official is being from a solid wrestling program at Harvard High School and having a real good mentor there in Tim Hack, who was also an official at one time and just gives really good feedback about certain situations, how to use your whistle, how to interact with coaches. And I get the same. I get a lot of that feedback not only from Tim but from some other great officials that I mentioned before. On top of that, I think the IWCOA and officials around here have done a nice job over the last 5 to 10 years in trying to get more and more video out. And I think video is so important too. And just learning from certain situations, accepting the fact that your call isn't always going to be right, but try and discuss your situations with other officials and make sure that in the future you could get that call right if it comes up again.
Well, good. Sport change or grow in your officiating career?
Say that again.
How have you noticed that the sport has changed or grown in your officiating career?
I think the sport's changed in that you get a lot more scramble situations. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You get a lot more scramble situations that you really have to hold your whistle on, especially as you see the more solid wrestling at the varsity level. I think that's changed since I've started officiating, 15 years ago. I think the sport's changed too in the fact that I remember when I first started officiating in this area, doing the Fox Valley, the Big Northern, North Suburban. You walk into a duel and you're expecting to do 14 matches at the lower level, and you're going to do 14 matches at the varsity level. And unfortunately, I think the sport's changing. That just the turnout is not the same as it was when I began and when I wrestled in high school. And I think that's disappointing. And I think kids are. I don't want to get into it too much, but I think kids are specializing more. It's a variety of reasons, but those are a couple of things I've noticed about the sport. I think the kids that are out there are still very competitive. The wrestling is still very intense, especially at the varsity level around here. So those are the couple of things.
So what advice would you give to the officials that are currently behind you trying to reach it to the sectional or the state final level?
Some of the advice I would give is just accept the fact that you're never going to be 100% right. You're going to have calls that you look back on and think, boy, I probably could have done that differently. I probably could have given the two when I blew the guy out of bounds, or I counted near fall too fast, or I should have hit that kid for stalling. Never be bigger than the coaches around you, the officials around you, if they give you feedback. I think it's a very difficult sport to officiate. You're usually 99% of the time you're the only one out there. You just have to accept the fact that there's going to be some mistakes and learn from those mistakes and grow from those mistakes. And use the advice of the officials that are in the sport now, because we have some great officials in the sport right now that you can learn so much from. Use the resources that officials are putting out there, the IWCOA is putting out there, and listen to coaches too. I mean, yes, sometimes coaches are going to give you a hard time, but other times, you talk to coaches after the match. Coaches want to learn too, and they want to discuss certain situations. They don't want to do it just to give you a hard time. They want to get the situation right as well. So having those conversations and learning from those conversations, I think, is so important. And I guess another piece of advice is when you first start off, There's going to be coaches that haven't seen you before, so there's going to be some rough times. I can think of quite a few off the top of my head when I first started officiating, and I would leave the gym. I think, man, I never want to do this ever again. But stick with it. The more you get seen, the more you get familiar with certain situations, being in the right spot, it gets easier and easier, and then you really start to enjoy officiating and appreciating what a great sport wrestling is, especially in Illinois.
Well, Mike, thanks for doing this quick interview for us.
Sure.
I hear the kids in the background, so I know they need Dad's attention. But
I got to go show them some Harvard wrestling moves.
There you go. Well, good luck to you for the rest of the season. And again, thanks for doing this for us.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do, Tony. You're welcome.
All right. Have a good holiday.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.